What's good, man? This video is basically going to be a simple one. Now, some of the things of which I like to talk about is actually your frequent habits and your thought habits. Now, when I'm saying frequent habits, I mean like what you do on a daily basis and the thing of which you're most consistent in. And when it comes to thought habits, it is basically the thing that you mostly think about or the things over which you spend most of your time thinking about and actually listening to or even believing or even allowing your mind to wander on. So when it comes to habits in themselves, physical habits, and one of the things of which I can literally point out is working out. I started working out in 2012 actually. I started off skinny, let's start off there. I started off very skinny, and then by 2015 I was actually getting kind of chubby. So at that time I wasn't really paying attention to what I was eating. I wasn't paying attention to my nutrition at all. So I spent most of my time just working out, going in the blind, working out, eating whatever you eat so that you can get big as possible. So my objective back then was just to get as big as possible. There wasn't anything specific of which I wanted to achieve. I wasn't trying to be a power lifter. I wasn't trying to be a bodybuilder, but I was damn sure trying to get into the constant habit and being consistent with the gym. So I wasn't fat, but I was skinny as well as chubby. If you could see, my whole face was a bit round. I had love handles. I hardly had any muscle definition. Nonetheless, I kept on working out. I kept on working out. I kept on working out. Now, what that has done for me in the present state is that it allowed me to form a habit of consistency. Now, that has allowed me to be able to work on my body for an extended period of time throughout your years, constantly going to gym, working out, being consistent, and then also constantly learning about my body and constantly learning about nutrition. So I was able to learn certain things that, especially when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to eating, that what you put into your body is just as important as going to the gym, if not more. I was able to learn that what I eat would actually dictate how I look. Going to the gym itself is something which doesn't alone dictate my progress. What will need to be combined with that is, once again, eating well and also sleeping well. Now, by working out throughout these past 10 years, I was able to get disciplined and form consistency. And that has also translated into other aspects of my life. When you work out regularly and when you build consistency and discipline, you can actually translate it to other avenues throughout your whole life, so that whenever you are faced with tasks and challenges in your life, you can rely on that consistency and that discipline that you've been able to build in the gym. What I can actually attest as evidence as to what those past years of working out have actually done for me is my physique now. I'd actually spent today, specifically today, I worked out with a friend of mine. It was actually his first day in the gym. He said something which is very, very significant to me. He said these keywords: damn, I have a long way to go. And when he said that, I actually realized that it's been a long time. I've spent a long time in the gym. Even if you look at my body now, I'm not the biggest guy. I will never be the biggest guy, but I like to believe that my body is where I want it to be. It's well toned, it's lean, it's strong to a certain point. I'm not the strongest guy in the gym. I'm still very satisfied with the progress I've made in the gym. The gym has allowed me to be able to build a body that is nice, well toned, healthy. Working out regularly today will actually dictate your body in 5 to 10 years' time. So what happened back there with me 5, 10 years ago, I was actually working towards what I have now. Another principle of which I was able to maintain 5 to 10 years ago is just relying on myself and making sure that I keep on working on myself and making sure that I educate myself throughout the years. This can be literally anything. You can literally point this to any field of which you're in. I was studying law, right? I was studying law throughout those years, and right now I'm working in a position of which I'm practicing what I studied. It once again correlates with the former point that I made, that what you do in your present or what you did 5 or 10 years ago is actually the reason behind where you are right now. So what you are doing right now, what you are consistently doing right now, what you're consistently thinking about right now is actually going to dictate where you are in 5 or even more years' time. It's actually crucial that we keep this point in mind. Certain habits like working out, certain habits like keeping your mind healthy, certain habits like thinking clear thoughts, certain habits like avoiding self-sabotage, certain habits of putting yourself first and working on your mentality. And so when it comes to goals, most of us have a habit of setting goals. An example of that can be something as simple as New Year's resolutions. Most people form New Year's resolutions which come with certain goals or certain results which are required or actually desired at the end of the year or even somewhere during the year. No, Problem with that is that we are focusing more on the result rather than on the process of now. The whole point of this video is to hammer on the point of showing the importance of what you do on a regular basis, and what you're doing now will actually dictate the future. Because we ignored the certain goal we want, we're able to focus on the present, focus on consistently doing whatever that you want to be doing so that you can achieve the certain result that you have in mind. I realized that the past 5 years of my life have actually dictated to a large extent, to a huge extent, where I am right now in life. If I had not been doing the things of which I was doing 5 to 10 years ago, I probably would not have been in the situation of which I am. And that can be applied negatively or positively. If I am in a negative mind frame, I can literally attribute that to my past actions of the past 5 to 10 years or even more. And if I am in a good position, I can also attribute that to the past actions of my 5 to 10 years ago. So it is actually crucial that whatever position we are in right now in life, we shouldn't look at it as if like, oh, I'm stuck in this position. The reason you are stuck is because number one, your habits of the past 5, 10, or 15 years. Number two, you fail to realize that your actions of back then or your thought habits were absolutely crucial, and they were going to determine, or they're actually determining your future position.